Welcome back to Purpose and Passion. And to those tuning in for the first time, thank you so much for being here. In honor of Black History Month, we begin by remembering a truth that belongs to all of us. Healing has always lived in community. Even during slavery, when Black Americans were denied the right to publicly grieve, grief still found a voice through spirituals, humming, prayer, and gathering. Those practices remind us that even when grief is silenced, healing finds a way. And tonight, in this shared space, we continue that legacy of purpose, passion, and collective care.
Again, a lot of what comes out of here is different perspective. I'm not saying this didn't happen to me. This happened for me. This happened for me to be able to, see things through a different perspective. So now I choose like how and when like I step into things, if that makes sense. And I'll even give life experience of working at the jewelry store and being robbed multiple times. Being robbed like at gunpoint, smash and grabs, like 7 robberies.
Wow.
And those things weren't happening to me because I was kept safe and unharmed. Those things were happening for me because it was time to repurpose. It's like, okay, your assignment is not to be at this jewelry store anymore. It's for you to be over here being the medic and helping be the trainer for people who have experienced traumatic things like being held at gunpoint and robberies. So I would definitely say this role was less chosen and more revealed based off of lived experiences.
Yeah.
Wow.
I believe that Rand has said it all for real. But I would like to add when she said holding space, right? It's the sound itself is just healing.
Yeah.
Holding space. And I know if you're an individual and some a series of events have happened or disturbed like your frequency, you're gonna become more guarded in life. And if you're guarded, you can't get those things freely that you need, because from my experiences, lived experiences, someone either give those tools to you or you in the right place where you're receptive to like we sharing today. And some of those tools just come in and it's like, wow, I can really use that, even if it's just a soft word. So a lot of times, like by being guarded and protected, because life have in some shape or form hurt us. So we're more resistant to things, and we can't miss out on those things. And I'm saying all that to say is I have been the individual, and today I see individuals kind of stuck in transition, and they stuck in transition, so they miss what Rand count as, hey, it's a bunch of signs and symbols I need to pay attention to. Maybe it's time to move forward and move along. Others, they don't see those signs because they're distracted by other things. And sometimes it may look to them as things are working in their favor. So sometimes you're almost grateful that some type of disaster, unfortunate situation move you along, because as we grow, we may not be able to recognize monetary gains may overshadow when it's time to move along. So I'm so glad that you shared that, and for our audience can take that into consideration. Well, sometimes I talk to the recovery audience and they say, what if everything is going well for you though, Al? And I'm like, well, that wellness of what you believe that's well and you use anyway, you have to really ask yourself, are things well? And sometimes it could be a smokescreen or a delusion that it may appear as yeah, everything's, but you don't feel fulfilled, and there's something that's missing. And the more intuitive that you can be about these early warning signs, and when things seem a little off, I believe then you can make the preparations for that, because I know being stuck is worse than going through. Because if you're going through something, that means you can come out of it. But if you're stuck, you may need somebody to pull you out. And you better pray that you have the type of supporters that's willing to grab a hold of you and pull you out of those situations.
That's good medicine right there, Mr. Al. That is good medicine. That's what I like to look at as a tower moment. Like where, like you said, I may feel like everything is going great. And that's honestly how I felt when I was working at that jewelry store, when I was missing all the signs and symbols. Because in my mind, before the perceptive change, it was, now where am I gonna go and make this type of money? Because I had family members that was like, hey, listen, I don't feel like it's safe for you to keep staying there at that job now. But I'm like, no, I had that smoky vision going on. It was like, no. But now it's like, once I surrendered to that and I had a great support system, I told Dia, I actually had an earth angel come along throughout this whole situation. They helped to change my perception of things. And it was like, okay, when I thought everything was going great, it really wasn't. Like I wasn't able to show up for my daughter like how I'm able to show up now. Because being in that position at that jewelry store, the hours that I had to work, to say the least. But now the things, I had that tower moment. I'm able to get up and take my daughter to school every morning. I'm able to pick her up every day. I'm able to go to every event, from sporting events to award show. And for me, that's really like fulfillment.
Yeah.
Yes. I want to speak to the irony and what Ren Sharon, she's surrounded by all these Jews, but yet feel undervalued. Ain't that something?
Wow.
The role you play in others' lives is often revealed, not chosen. Life trains us through what we survive, turning instinct into purpose. When we stop resisting the signs and honor what truly fulfills us, we step fully into the support we were always meant to be.
It's interesting y'all are saying that, because, the realization that I came to lately, I came to this realization of how expensive undervaluing ourselves really is. And not just expensive in terms of finances, which, it can be expensive there too, because you really do cheat yourself out of what is due you. But then it's just also expensive to your soul, And so I appreciate y'all sharing all of that. Absolutely. And with that, of course, then we ask our audience, since Mr. Al has explained, that personal support group, asking yourself, where do you tend to fall and in the lives of other people? What part do you typically play? And have you even taken time to consider your support circle and who supports you? Okay, so as you think about where you are and where you'd like to be, what might need to shift, either in the support you receive or the way you show up for others?
I'm gonna take this one. I'm gonna initiate this. I know for me, where I would like to be, and it would take maybe me shifting from reaching for bigger platforms, audiences, not getting comfortable with what I have done and those accomplishments, because sometimes you can, I think, be stagnated in your comfortability. But maybe I have been David in my own story, where I'm always defeating the giants in my life. But what I have, what that has done to the conditioning and the state of mind is, I need to bring about new fears. And I believe that fear can be healthy in a sense. And if I'm not afraid of anything, yeah, I do that. I do that. I need something that will almost put me at a discomfort. And so I need to go after the things that maybe I thought before I didn't belong there, or or,
Mm-hmm.
or I'm the maybe somebody more that have more credentials or qualified than me in those areas, and I need to let them be the specialty or expert in that. Maybe I need to shake up that norm right there and put myself in a position that's something that makes my heart beat correct
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
again, because you know they say heights and speaking is the number one fears. So maybe I need to gain some new fears in order for me to reach my potential, if that makes sense.
Absolutely. It's like, building a muscle that you didn't even know existed, kind of thing.
Yes. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So for me, and probably for some in the audience that can relate, I'm going to say balance.
Mm-hmm.
Um, that's what actually could stand shifting, because like balance between giving and receiving, balance
Mm.
between holding and being held, because it's like, okay, well, I've kind of built up this, I'm going to hold space, but Ren, who's holding space for you?
Yeah.
So I'm learning to allow support without justification and to offer support without self erasure. So it's like you are just as worthy of
Yeah.
being supported as you are supporting others. So the way forward asked me to show up for others from overflow rather than depletion.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and to trust that reciprocity is not something that I must earn, but it is something that I'm actually worthy of.
Yeah.
For so long, I felt like I almost want to say the word for it would be guilty. Like I would just give, do, and do, and do. And then whenever someone went to give or do for me, it's like, oh no, I'm good. I'm good.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But if
Mm-hmm.
you're
Mm-hmm.
constantly pouring into someone,
Yep.
okay, and then your vessel is empty, what do
Yep.
you have left to pour into yourself? And that's often what I stand in the mirror and I ask myself. So now, I say that to the audience, like, rest unapologetically, receive unapologetically, and just know that you too are worthy of the things that you've put out.
That makes me think of something I recently saw. This mother, and she has a mother of nine, I think it is. Yeah, she has nine children. And she was talking about how, people talk about putting their children first. And she said, no. She said, I put myself first, because if I don't put myself first and give myself what I need, then
Mm-hmm.
there's no way I'm going to be able to give my children. I will just be giving my children from out of exhaustion, frustration. And she compared it to how when you go on a flight and they talk about putting on your oxygen mask first.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, if I don't put on my oxygen mask first, and then I try to, go and help my child, well, if I'm dying and I can't help them put on their oxygen mask, then we both gonna die. So I need to make sure that I get mine on first. And so I 100% relate to so much of what both of you have said. And I really feel like for myself, Ren, just like what you said, that healthy balance, because I absolutely I have always been that person that it's almost like I felt obligated in life to make
Mm-hmm.
sure I was available for everything. I was available at church. I was available for my family. I was available for friends. And then, like you said, when it came to someone, reaching out to help me, oh no, I'm fine. I didn't know how to accept help. I didn't know how to ask for help. And I don't know where the origin of that comes from, if I'm completely honest. But what I have realized, especially becoming a wife and a mother, is the fact that at some point, if you don't figure it out, your life is going to help you figure it out, because you're going to get to a point to where you don't have the capacity to be everything to everybody. And like you said, your body will bring you to your knees.
And I just want to touch on something really briefly, something you just said. And hopefully that will help to change the culture, because you said you don't know where that concept came from. Me personally, I feel like it came from seeing a lot of our elders, especially the nurturers, the women, the mothers, feeling like, okay, I have to take care of the household. I got to make sure these kids are straight. I got to make sure my husband, my spouse, my significant other is straight. Just trying to be the one to bring it all together. I really do feel like that's where it developed. But if we can develop a healthy culture, a healthy mindset that says, okay, even though you are mother, nurturer, nourisher, you still, with that balance, it's okay for you to be poured into as well.
I did want to ask you before we left today, if there was one thing that you would want to leave with the audience to take away from this conversation today, what would that be?
I think I would have to say, invest in yourself. Like I know we save up and trips, maybe places that we buy things that we think that will make us, I don't know, have better confidence and things like that. But I think that one should invest in themselves. And what I mean by, if it's one of your best speakers and they're in town, instead of going to that concert, go see the Lisa Nicholas, the Tony Robbins, the Les Browns. Empower yourself to a webinar, seminar, or something of that such. Invest in you. Yeah, that's what I would say. Invest in you. You're worth it.
That's right.
That was my medicine. That was what I would share with the audience is you are worthy. You are worthy of healing. You are worthy of rest. You are worthy of reciprocity. You are worthy. And I might even want to just, not even a might, but I also want to add on, there's nothing wrong with being held in a supportive space, because that's something else that culture has created was, it's something wrong with reaching out and getting help. It's really not.
It's not. Growth asks for courage, balance, and self-investment. Allow yourself to receive as much as you give. Invest in your healing, listen to your body, and trust that you are worthy of support, rest, and expansion. When you pour from overflow instead of depletion, everyone benefits, including you. You are worth it. You are worthy. Well, I just want to leave you all with this. This is the first conversation of many that we are going to be sharing with you. We are going to share stories of our own personal stories and our resilience and overcoming things. We're going to go more in depth into, how to create your personal support group and healing. We're going to have others come along who are willing to share their journey as well in this space of grief and trauma and healing. And we ask that you join us along. So hit that subscribe button, and we look forward to bringing new episodes every month to you. So we just want to say a huge thank you for watching, and we look forward to connecting with you again in this space on next month. Have a great day.